Welcome to the Car Guys, and this week a full update on the Drive Every Ferrari series, how many cars have I secured, which are the main ones we're missing, and when can we expect to see the 288 GTO in the garage. So this week I'm going to answer all those questions. So if that sounds like your special kind of prancing horse vodka, let's get on with it. This year I embarked on a challenge to drive every Ferrari model launched from 1947 right up to the present day. Many of you thought I would be crazy to do this and that it would never be completed.
Right.
But I like a challenge. Also, I was getting pretty jaded with life on YouTube and getting more and more depressed. So I needed something to get me back on track and give me a second wind. And it's fair to say that Drive Every Ferrari has achieved that and a whole lot more. This series has really galvanised me this year, and it's also worth saying that my big EV Lie episode also delivered some much needed motivation. 1.5 million views and counting. First of all, an enormous thank you to all you Ferrari owners who contacted me and pledged cars after my first Drive Every Ferrari announcement. You are all legends in my eyes. And although I haven't got round to visiting you all yet, I absolutely will, have no fear. It doesn't matter what country you're in, if you've got a Ferrari that I need to drive, I'll be in touch. The best part of this job, if you can call it that, is meeting the owners, listening to their stories and just chatting about cars. And before I give you a full rundown of the challenge so far, a special plea to any of you who have not already got in touch but who have Ferraris that you'd like to see featured on this channel. And to help assuage any potential fears about your pride and joy being featured on this channel, here's a quick FAQ. Yes, I am insured. Yes, I'm extremely respectful of your property. Yes, I can come anywhere in the world, especially for the really rare cars. No, I won't reveal the location of your house or car collection. Your car will be immortalised on film, and I will do the best job I can of making it look great. So let's get down to business and drive every Ferrari. Perhaps the first time that anyone has attempted to drive and document what it's like to drive every Ferrari model made. According to my master spreadsheet, well, you've got to have one of those, haven't you? There are 93 individual Ferrari models, 142 in total, including all body shell variations, and therefore that's my target. And so far I've managed to secure, wait for it, 52 Ferraris. 52 out of the 93. Over half, which means I've got 41 to find. And of those 52, I've actually already filmed and published 17 of them. If you're a fan and an avid watcher of the channel, then you'll know I've already covered the Ferrari 365 GTB4 Daytona Spider. Oh, the noise is good. Oh yeah. A beautiful convertible Ferrari on a beautiful sunny day and an exceptionally rare car. I've also driven the 348 TS, which is the Targa roofed version of the 348. A lot of noise. Not a huge amount of acceleration, I have to say. Great noise, but yeah, it doesn't feel that fast. A car which many people believe was horrible, but actually I ended up rather liking it. I very much enjoyed the 612 Scaglietti, which is that Tour de France blue example, perfect condition, and a very rare manual car. This really is a great Grand Tourer, if you can forgive the looks, and bear in mind though that because of the looks, you can pick up this car pretty cheaply. This is a sumptuous, speedy, four-seater Ferrari, and under those controversial looks, you've got quite a stunning front-engined V12 Ferrari. Who could forget Jason and I driving the metallic brown Ferrari 308 GTS in the Cotswolds? Again, a charming little car, not the fastest thing in the world, but oh so sweet in terms of handling. I got to grips at the Bicester Heritage Centre, the little car company's Testarossa J, which is an official Ferrari electric children's car. I also drove that dark blue F12 Berlinetta, which was probably the finest one I have ever driven, an absolute perfect spec, and boy, was I seduced by the charms of that. Oh my goodness! Well, okay, yes, the acceleration is intergalactic. And talking of being seduced, don't forget I also drove the 430 manual in classic Rosso Corsa with cream leather. What an experience that was. It really redefined my thoughts of the 430, which I never was interested in buying, and it slotted in perfectly between my experience of the 360 and the 458 Italia. Part of what I'm doing with Drive Every Ferrari and driving all those cars from a singular perspective is putting them all together and understanding exactly how Ferrari has evolved over its history. The mighty 599 GTO is probably my favourite car that I've driven so far in this series. It's an absolutely scintillating, fearsome, growling, snarling, grizzly bear of a car. And I suddenly realised, for perhaps the first time ever, exactly why the 599 GTO is so special. It really is. I had a splendid time in the Ferrari 330 GT 2+2, a 1966 car that was elegant and sophisticated, and it really gave me my first taste of what 60s Ferraris were all about. Then we got bang up to date with an F8 Tributo, a car that was incredibly fast, but if I'm being honest, I preferred the Pista. I also drove a perfect condition example of the Super America. This is a Ferrari that most people completely overlook, and it's got that quite bizarre flip back glass roof. And as you can see, it's actually very relaxed, it's very civilized. Even when you boot it, it doesn't really lose its composure. It's far more of a relaxed boulevard cruiser than a snarling monster. Then I managed to find a car that I am absolutely convinced will one day be in the Car Guys garage, that exact car, and it is a blue posi example of the 360 with a manual gearbox. And it was everything I expected it to be. Oh my God, it's so good. Then we started to delve into the history of the Testarossa, and we started off with two examples. A double header episode, which I urge you to check out if you haven't already, where I drove one of the very original cars in bright yellow and also the 512 TR, which is the one that I've always lusted after. Then I managed to complete the Testarossa picture with a 512M. Cribbins misses. The last of the line, which although being quite ugly, is of course the best handling of the three. This is what a Ferrari should sound like. I then got to drive an absolutely fantastic example of the 512BB, the predecessor of the Testarossa. Again, a car that I had no interest in whatsoever, but I quickly realised that not only is it one of the prettiest Ferraris in the modern era, but it's also one of the best to drive. Wow, that car really changed my opinion about 70s Ferraris. And coming more up to date, I then drove my own 488 Pista Spider, one of the latest Ferraris and probably one of the best. and the latest episode has been on the 512 BBI, the fuel-injected version of the 512 BB. So the good news is I've secured over half the Ferraris I need, but I still have 44% to find and a whopping 81.5% to actually film. Lots still to do then. And here's the bit where I have to start grovelling because I still have 41 cars to secure. That, of course, includes the newly announced Pura Sangue. Thanks Ferrari for launching more cars right in the middle of the challenge. Now I know that Ferrari may well help with the current range, including the 296 GTB or GTS, SF90, so that leaves its prestigious back catalogue, and boy are there some big hitters in there. So if you're a dealer or private individual and you have any of the following Ferraris that you would be prepared to let me feature on this channel and join the illustrious ranks of the Drive Every Ferrari cavalcade, then please get in touch with me on email or WhatsApp. The contact details are in the description of this episode. And here's a selection of cars that I haven't yet secured, so please get in touch if you can help me with any of these. The 250 Europa, the 410 Super America, the 275 GTS, Dino 246 GT, 365 GTC, a 400 or 412, Mondial, 288 GTO, 550 Barchetta, Enzo, LaFerrari or LaFerrari Aperta, and of course the Daytona SP3. So as you can see, some real juicy ones still to secure, but I am confident that we'll get there in the end. I hope there are some Car Guys fans or perhaps dealers, DK Engineering, who can help me complete this challenge. So there you go, that's where we are so far with Drive Every Ferrari, and that's where I need to get to complete the challenge. To end this episode, I thought I'd give you a quick taster of some of the cars that I have secured and I'm in the process or I've already filmed that are coming soon to this channel. And coming up next is the Ferrari F40. This should be an incredible episode because I can compare that car against the one that I used to have. I've also got coming up soon an F50, an SF90, the 296 GTB, 599 GTB, 328 GTS, 355 Spider, 458 Speciale Aperta, and a 250 short wheelbase. So some real exciting cars coming up next on Drive Every Ferrari, and hopefully as a result of this episode we should have some more secured for next year. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode and an update on Drive Every Ferrari. There are many, many Ferraris to come, and so far you all seem to enjoy the series. If you like what we're doing on The Car Guys, please subscribe, leave comments and likes, pledge us your cars. There'll be another episode next week.